A gut-wrenching mystery swept through the small town of Springville after 12-year-old Ethan Carter vanished without a trace during a routine soccer practice. 9 years have passed since the Carter family's world was shattered by their son's sudden disappearance. And with each passing year, the pain of their loss has only intensified. But just when they had lost all hope of ever finding him, a chilling development in the case brought them face to face with an eerie discovery that left them questioning everything they thought they knew about their son's disappearance. What could this mysterious clue possibly mean for the investigation? And would it lead them to uncover the truth behind Ethan's vanishing act? Get ready to be captivated by this spine-tingling tale as we unravel the mystery surrounding Ethan's disappearance and the shocking revelation that awaited his family after 9 long years. It all began on a seemingly ordinary afternoon in 2010 when Ethan Carter headed out to practice with his soccer team at the local park. The young boy was known for his infectious enthusiasm and passion for the sport, and his absence was immediately noticed by his teammates and coaches. As the sun began its descent and the shadows grew longer, a sense of unease settled over the town. Ethan was nowhere to be found, and the search efforts proved fruitless. With each passing hour, the worry etched deeper lines on his parents' faces, their hearts heavy with the agonizing uncertainty of what could have happened to their beloved son. Despite the unwavering support of the tight-knit community and the tireless efforts of law enforcement, Ethan's whereabouts remained a perplexing mystery. The days turned into weeks, then months, and still there was no sign of the missing boy. The Carters were faced with the soul-destroying reality that they might never see their son again, but they refused to give up hope. Every birthday, every holiday season served as a painful reminder of their loss, but also a renewed determination to keep Ethan's memory alive. They organized charity events, participated in awareness campaigns, and never failed to keep his room filled with love and laughter. Meanwhile, whispers and theories about Ethan's disappearance swirled through Springville like autumn leaves in a storm. Some believed he had simply run away from home, while others suspected foul play. The weight of these speculations, coupled with the lack of concrete evidence, left the townspeople divided and the Carter family torn apart. 9 years have passed since that fateful day, and the wound of Ethan's disappearance has only deepened with time. Now 21 years old, Ethan should have been on the cusp of adulthood, making plans for his future, facing the challenges and joys that come with growing up. But instead, his parents are still haunted by the ghost of his absence, a constant ache in their hearts. They have pored over every possible scenario, every lead, and every piece of evidence, hoping to find some answers. Yet the case remains as cold as the winter winds that sweep through Springville in December. It's a mystery that has defied logic, leaving the once vibrant town subdued by fear and uncertainty. One particularly dreary afternoon, as rain lashed against the windows of their home, Ethan's mother, Sarah Carter, found herself engulfed in a wave of despair. She missed her son more than words could express, and the silence of his absence echoed through the empty halls of their house like a mournful song. As she stood staring out into the rain-streaked world outside, she couldn't shake off the feeling that something was amiss, that there were loose ends in the story of her son's disappearance that had yet to be tied. Just when her spirits were at their lowest, a sudden commotion at the door brought her back to the present. With trembling hands, she wiped away the tears that had streamed down her face and slowly made her way to the entrance. There, lying on the welcome mat, was a package wrapped in a plain brown paper, tied with a simple twine. A small card was attached to it, bearing the words, "For Sarah," scrawled in a handwriting that seemed both familiar and distant. Curiosity and apprehension warred within her as she knelt down to pick up the package. Its weight felt strangely familiar, like it was holding secrets from a past she had long buried. With a deep breath, she brought the package inside, placing it on the kitchen table where the faint scent of leather and earth seemed to emanate from its depths. As she carefully peeled back the layers of paper, her eyes widened in disbelief. Nestled inside was a pair of muddy soccer cleats, their worn surface bearing the marks of countless games and adventures. Tears welled up in her eyes as recognition dawned on her. These were Ethan's cleats, the very ones he had worn during his last soccer practice before he disappeared. But how could this be? Hadn't those cleats been lost forever along with her son? Or could there be a more sinister explanation behind their sudden reappearance? Overwhelmed with a mix of emotions, Sarah reached out to touch the cleats, the fabric soft against her fingertips. In that moment, a myriad of questions raced through her mind. Who had brought these here, and why after all this time? Could this be a clue to Ethan's whereabouts? Or was it a cruel trick of fate meant to torment her? With a newfound sense of determination, Sarah carefully examined the cleats, hoping to find some answers. She noticed a small hole near the toe of one of the shoes, a hole she distinctly remembered patching up just weeks before Ethan's disappearance. Could this be the very same hole? Had someone taken such meticulous care of his belongings all these years? The thought brought a mix of comfort and sorrow, reminding her of the boy who had once owned these cleats, full of life and laughter. As days turned into weeks, the cleats became a beacon of hope for the Carters, a tangible link to their missing son that refused to be ignored. They contacted the police, who dusted the cleats for fingerprints and combed through the area where they were found for any other clues. But as always, they came up empty-handed. The mystery deepened, leaving the Carter family suspended between hope and despair. Yet they clung to the belief that these cleats held the key to unlocking Ethan's fate. Sarah found herself drawn to the cleats, studying them for any sign of a clue that could lead her to her son. She noticed a faint outline of a logo on the sole, a logo that seemed oddly familiar. With a surge of adrenaline, she rushed to her computer, determined to uncover the truth. After hours of searching, she finally found a match. The logo belonged to a shoe repair shop in a neighboring town. Could this be a lead? Hope surged through her veins as she dialed the number, each ring echoing the urgency in her heart. When a gruff but kind voice answered, she began her tale, hesitantly at first, then with growing confidence. The old man at the other end listened patiently, his silence heavy with understanding. Finally, he spoke. Yes, he remembered repairing those cleats. He had placed them in a box and stored them away, intending to return them to their owner. But it had slipped his mind until now. With trembling hands, Sarah thanked the man and made arrangements to meet him. This could be the breakthrough they had been waiting for. As she hung up the phone, she shared the news with her husband and son, their faces lighting up with cautious optimism. Was this the lead that would unravel the mystery surrounding Ethan's disappearance? Would the clues hidden in these worn-out cleats finally lead them to their son? The answer lay in the dusty boxes of a forgotten shoe repair shop, waiting to be unearthed. But as fate would have it, the cryptic message and the appearance of Ethan's cleats opened up a Pandora's box of long-buried secrets and half-truths. The townspeople of Springville, once united in their grief, were now divided by suspicion and fear. Whispers turned to accusations, and the line between innocence and guilt became blurred. Could the truth behind Ethan's disappearance be more sinister than they had ever imagined? As Sarah stepped into the shoe repair shop, she was greeted by a sight that sent shivers down her spine. There, in a musty corner, sat a box containing not just Ethan's cleats, but also a faded photograph that brought back a flood of memories. The image showed a smiling Ethan, his cleats prominently displayed beside him. But there was something else in the photo, something that made Sarah's blood run cold. Standing in the background was a man she recognized all too well, a man who had been absent from Ethan's life since his birth. Her ex-husband, Mark Carter. But how could this be? Mark had left her with false assurances that he would return. Why was he in this picture? And what had he been doing all these years? Overwhelmed with a mix of emotions, Sarah rushed home to confront her ex-husband with her discovery. The confrontation was tense, filled with accusations and denials. But as the night wore on, cracks began to show in Mark's facade, hinting at a darker truth. Could this seemingly ordinary soccer cleat have the power to shatter their lives all over again? The answer lay hidden in the details, waiting to be uncovered. And so the story comes to an end here. But if you want to hear more stories like this, then subscribe to our channel, because we never want your horror experience to end.